Yeah, exactly. That's that I've been wearing these pants in so long, and I forget that it looks like I'm naked on the screen every time I wear these pants. And when even like in person, sometimes my husband will be like, "You really can't wear those in public. It really looks like you don't have anything on." Whatever. I do. I'm not naked. There's pants. They're pants, I promise. And they also do have like these shinier parts where I'm like, the mouth just looks weird. Like,
yeah, no,
you have some sort of skin weird.
And that you have a really, really good tan.
You're right. I don't know. This is sheer again. This is sheer. So it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty close. Yeah, anyway. All right. All right. Hi, everyone. Hi. So this is our last class before Rosh Hashanah on Monday night. And now you can hear me better. So the sort of word of the season, the quintessential essence of Rosh Hashanah. One of my teachers, I've probably said this already in this class, but I say it a lot. One of my teachers who I studied Torah with for many, many years, who I studied Torah yoga with for many years, she talks about how each holiday opens up a portal to a certain energy in the universe. So the portal that opens up during Rosh Hashanah is Teshuvah, which in the Machzor is usually translated as repentance. But that's not really what that word means. Like so many of the words that we have in our liturgy that are translated, when you turn to the Hebrew, that word really means returning or to turn to. And so, the idea it's a little bit softer. And it's not to say like, if you did crappy things this year, like make good on it, like we all do crappy things sometimes, and that's okay. We all make mistakes. So it's not to say don't, make good on the things that you did. Don't repent in a way. Don't not apologize, That's what we call the spiritual bypass, which I think I've probably also talked about, where it's like, oh, I'm just going to look to the future and we're not going to concern ourselves with the past. And I'm going to just do gratitude and love and light and positive vibes and ignore stuff that's going on. So if there's stuff going on that needs repenting for, of course, do that. But there's this softer way of thinking about it. That word return feels a little softer than repent. And when we think of what returning means, it's, a return to who we are, not only who we are, but also who we want to be moving forward. Oh, there's Marnie. Hi, Marnie. Who we want to be as we are moving into this next year. What are the things that we want to return to that maybe we've let go of? The habits, the ways of being in the world that really do serve us, and what tends to happen in our lives is we get, when things are busy, especially when life is, when we're focused more outwardly, we let go of some of the positive habits. I was listening to a podcast this morning and she was talking about her daughter going away to school and how, she knows going for a walk would be a better thing to do. She knows, reading her book would be a better thing to do, but she grabs a glass of wine and a piece of cake and sits and doom scrolls on her phone because that's what we do. We numb out, and it's okay. And if that's where you're at, it's really okay. But this idea of returning is to turn towards those things that, we know nourish our souls, and that move us forward into this next year in the way that we want to move forward. A couple of years ago, I do henna art. I don't have any on right now, just my regular tattoos, but I often have henna on, and my one of my practices with henna is that I'm very intentional in sort of designing, what it is I want to wear, which is why I love that it's temporary, because it can just be the mood of the moment, how you want to be decorated in that moment. Which when it's permanent, that's always it's always with you. This is a matching one with my son, so I'm happy to have it always with me. But when I was designing a Rosh Hashanah henna a couple of years ago, I sat down and I was like drawing things and I'm like, no, that's not it. And I'm like throwing it away and I'm like drawing something else. No, that's not it. And I keep going and I'm getting really like frustrated with myself. Like, you're a terrible artist. Why do you even think you can do this thing? Why? Because I'm really not an artist. I'm like a doodler. I like to doodle, which works well with henna, but I'm not really like an artist. That's not who I am. But I'm going through this whole, like, as I'm doing it and like, it's clear, like, that's not the right thing. No, that looks terrible. No, I don't like that at all. No, whatever. I'm like sort of beating myself up a little bit. And then I get to this point where I was like, oh, wait, no, that is it. That's the thing. And then I could put this other thing back there, and it came together. And I had this just very profound moment of saying, like, oh, I had to know exactly what it wasn't to know what it was should be. I had to know all the things that it shouldn't be before I knew what it was going to be. Right. And so it's the same way with ourselves and with the ways that we are in the world. We do crappy things. We make a mistake. We speak out of line. We right. And sometimes it takes doing something like that to be like, oh, yeah, no, that's not who I want to be. That's not how I want to be in the world. So we can look back at those things and then we can return to what it is that we want to return to. We can turn back to that which is, how and who we want to exist in the world. But sometimes it takes that. We beat ourselves up for the mistakes. We beat ourselves up for the misalignments and the things that we, haven't done so skillfully in our lives. But the reality is that sometimes, I'll share one more story. My son was dating this girl and she broke up with him by text. It was crummy. And I'm texting my sisters in our little sister chat. And I'm like, she broke up with him in a text, I was like, oh, whatever, like that. And my sisters are going like ballistic. And as I'm thinking about it, and they're like saying all these terrible things about her and how awful she is and how much they hate her. And I was like, actually, you know what? I was like, teenagers do crappy things. And until someone does something crappy like that to you, maybe you would have done something like that. And so I feel like teenagers, even though it was a crummy thing to do, I was kind of like, maybe that's the universe's way of being like, hey, dude, this feels like crap. And so maybe don't be this way in the world, because teenagers make a lot of mistakes, right? But it's the same idea, and I was like, kind of like, well, but isn't that just the way of the world? Like, until somebody does something really awful, and perhaps you don't think about how awful that feels until it's done to you. Anyway, you get the idea. Returning to ourselves, returning to our best selves, to our highest selves. That's the thoughts for today. So we'll do some twisting and turning in our yoga and in ways that hopefully will serve us. All right, close your eyes. Let's just take a moment, sit, and to breathe and to settle and to turn inwards. The essential move of this season is to turn inside. Even the weather, the turning of the clocks, it's getting darker earlier, it's getting cooler outside. Everything in and around us is saying, turn inside. Turn to your own heart. Turn to what is good and righteous and beautiful inside of you. And if you've strayed from that, if you've moved away from it in any way, just turn back to it. So begin that turning right now. Maybe you have already. We'll continue through until next week. Just keep turning to all that is whole and generous and compassionate and lovely inside of you. Let it be your guide. Bring your hands onto your heart. Let's begin with our chants. We'll chant Hineni 3 times. If you'd like to join, take a deep breath in. Hineni. 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 Let your head bow to your heart. Release your hands to your lap. And then you can keep your eyes closed. Just start to circle your torso around. It's beginning to shift a little forward, out to the sides and back. And you start to feel a little looser. Let the movements get bigger. And then change the direction, go around the other way, circle the other direction. Feel a grounding sensation in your pelvis through your legs so that you're just settled into all the ways that you want to keep, how you want to stay, and the habits, the ways of being in the world that serve you and so serve those around you. Feel a settling of that in yourself. And then come on up to neutral spine. Do a little cat and cow here. So as you inhale, send your chest forward. And then as you exhale, let your weight drop to your hands and your head release down. Inhale, arch forward. Exhale, round back. Couple more arching, lifting the front body. Exhale, opening up through the back. And last one, breathe in. Lengthen from pubic bone all the way up to your chin. Exhale, lengthen from tailbone all the way to the base of your skull. Good. Come up to neutral and come off anything you're sitting on. If you're on a blanket or on a block, just come off of that. And then take your feet out in front of you like a seated squat. Good. And then drop your knees side to side a few times. Drop to one side and then the other. Try to have your knees wide enough apart that your knees can come to the floor and not land onto your leg. Yeah, that's it. And just side to side. Notice how your pelvis wants to move with your legs. So as things, again, become a little easier, now just try to move the legs without letting the pelvis move as much. So you're getting just more rotation of the thigh in the hip. That's it. And the next time you're over to the right, stay to the right. That's it. Arch your back a little bit. So press into your hands, draw your low back in, shoulders back. Press your right knee down to the floor, pinky edge of your foot to the floor. And then just start to pivot your left knee up. That's it. You can heel toe it in a little so the heel comes under the knee. And keep your right knee down, but press the left knee over to the left a little bit wider. Lift your chest. Good. And then drop both knees over to your left. Let them come to the floor. Press the pinky side of your left foot down. Keep the knee down and then start to peel the right knee up. Bring the knee over the ankle. And then maybe out a little bit wider. Good. And then come to center like Baddha Konasana, but with your feet a little wider apart. So come on the pinky edges of your feet. Turn your feet out. Pull your toes back a little bit. And then draw your low back in. Maybe walk your torso a little more upright. Maybe scoot your butt even a little closer to your heels. And then press your knees down and wide. So you're feeling a stretch into the inner thighs. You're feeling the pinky edges of your feet press down. Okay, good. Draw your knees together and come on to hands and knees. Let me put a little music on. Line yourself up in your tabletop. Take whatever support you need underneath your knees, or of course under wrists if you need that as well. And then take your right leg back behind you, stretch it out long. Tuck your toes under on the floor, press evenly. Notice how the weight wants to come to the pinky side of your foot. Try to not let that happen. So press more to the big toe side of your foot and then press forward and back a few times, gripping your fingers down, pulse forward, chest forward a little, and then pulse back, pressing your heel back. Then a couple more, pulse forward and back, stretch through the calf, and then forward into the chest a little bit. Now land your shoulders right over your wrists and start to circle your foot. So drop to the pinky edge of your foot, roll to the top of your foot, roll onto the instep. Yeah, moving through your ankle, through the top of your foot, circling your foot on the floor, and then change the direction, circling around. As we circle, we'll do lots of circling, twisting, turning movements today. Let each one be the reminder to return to your heart. Next time you're on the top of your foot, on your toenails, hold there. That's it. And then drag your leg forward slightly. Don't bend your knee. Keep the leg straight just until you feel a little more stretch in the top of your foot, in the front of your ankle. gaze forward slightly. Then lift up your leg, bend your knee, and swing the leg out to the side like a fire hydrant leg. Good. As you exhale, squeeze your knees together. Feel the inner thighs fire up. And then inhale, lift the knee as high as you can. Try to not lift the pelvis. Exhale, squeeze your legs together. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, squeeze together. A couple more. Inhale, lift the leg as high as you can without turning the pelvis. Last one, squeeze together and then lift to the side and bring them back. Good. And then sit hips to heels, drop your elbows and do a few wrist warm-ups. So lift the hands. You can do it palms down, lift a couple of times, spreading out the fingers, and then you can do it palms up, making fists, just stretching out the wrists, warming up the fingers a little bit. That's it. So much of what we do in yoga is a return, you know, we say that all the time. We're not trying to introduce something new. We're just returning to whether that's an alignment in our body that's gone off or an alignment in our mind, right? So much of what we do in yoga is just a return. It's all there inside of us, what we need. All right, come on back up to your tabletop. Left leg back behind you. Tuck your toes. Push into your heel, stretch back, and then rock forward into your fingers, spreading your fingers, gripping your finger pads down. Stretch the wrist, stretch the calf, just pulse back and forth a few times. Good. Just forward and back to start. And then bring your shoulders right over your wrists and start some circles with your foot. Spin the instep down, come to the outer edge, roll over the top of the foot. Yeah. And then go the other way, circle the other direction. Next time you land onto the top of your foot, the toenails, hold there. Make your leg nice and strong. Don't lock out your knee, but have the muscles strong. And then drag the foot forward just a little bit on the floor. Feel a stretch in the tops of your toes and the front of your ankle. And then inhale, lift your toes up, swing your knee out to the side. And exhale, draw the knees together. Inhale, lift it straight out to the left. Exhale, knees together. Couple more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. And last two. Inhale, lift. Exhale. And last one. And squeeze. Okay, good. Sit back. This time, knees together. Big toes together, knees wide. Sit back into child's pose. Reach your arms out in front of you. Extend out. And then walk your hips back even a little farther. So as you extend your arms out, maybe your hips lifted a little bit. If you can, as long as your knee feels okay, push your hips back towards your heels a lot. And then try to keep your heels back, but keep your arms a little more out in front of you. Let your head and your neck soften to the floor. And then walk your arms and your torso over to the right. Keep your left hip down. Maybe take your left hand onto your right hand if that feels comfortable. Inhale through center, over to the other side. Stay here or stack hands. Inhale through center and come on up to tabletop. All right, good. We're going to come down, find your way onto your back. And then on your back, bring your knees up into your chest. One thing you could do here, if you wanted to, it helps to energize the legs a little bit. If you want to put a block between your knees, that might be helpful here. You don't have to. You can do it without the block, but this engages the pelvic floor, the inner thighs a little bit more. All right, squeeze your knees in, hugging the block or not. If it's too much to hold the block, then just leave that part out. Squeeze the knees in close. Then lift your head and shoulders up until your knees and your nose come as close together as you can. Now you're going to keep your knees exactly where they are. So squeezing in and up, but let your head and shoulders come back down and then open your arms out into a T. So the knees are up high towards the chest. Now on an exhale, Push the knees over up towards the right elbow. Let them hover for a moment above the floor, and then inhale and squeeze them back up. Exhale over to the left, up towards the left elbow. Inhale, squeeze them back up. Good. Side to side a couple more times. Exhale over to the side. Inhale to center. Exhale over to the left side. Inhale back up. Good. Now over to the right again. And then this time, let your knees come all the way to the floor. Try to keep your left shoulder down. It may lift up. It's okay if it's lifting up. If it's bothersome to the shoulder, bring your left arm closer to your back, and that will ease it out of the shoulder a little bit. Let your left shoulder release. Let your left ribs release towards the left, even as your knees go over to the right. Take one more breath and a long exhale, turning your upper body to the left as your lower body turns right. Inhale, bring your knees up. Center yourself if your hips shifted over to the left a little bit, bring them over to the right, and then drop your knees over to the left. Squeezing your block if you're holding a block or just hugging your legs together. Again, if your shoulder bothers you, you can bring it closer to your back, your right shoulder, but let your right shoulder relax. Keeping your knees left as you exhale, let your right ribs relax over to the right. You can turn your head even to the right if that feels comfortable for your neck. As we make this turn, you feel that ringing sensation in your belly, like twisting a washcloth to squeeze out the water. Imagine you are squeezing out all the things that are not you or that you don't want to bring with you into this next year. And as you breathe in, just feel a rush of life, of fresh breath into your heart, into your belly. Let your knees come back up, bringing in this fresh new year. All right, set the block over to the side. Let's do a little bit of abdominals while we're here. So take your hands behind your head, lace your fingers together. Take your elbows out wide. Rest your head back into your hands. Then lift your knees up off the floor. Well, let's say it this way. You could keep your feet on the floor if you want to. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit, bring your knees right over your hips. Take a big breath in right where you are. As you exhale, curl your head and shoulders up. Pull your navel to the floor. Inhale, slowly lower down. Exhale, lift from your shoulder blades. Inhale, lower. And just like that with your breath, exhale, lift. Keep your gaze at the ceiling so you're not pulling on your neck. Inhale, release down, and a few more. Lift the shoulders. The head just comes along for the ride, and then the abdominals are like the brakes as you lower down. Last two. Inhale, lower. And last one. Good. And lower. Hug your knees one more time. Let your legs, shoulders, head relax. And then hold behind your thighs. Get a little rocking, a little momentum going, and rock yourself up. Swing your legs back around into downward tabletop, preparing for downward facing dog. That's it. Grip your fingers down, spread them out, make your arms nice and strong. And then lift your knees and your hips up. And with the feet back towards the back of the mat, just pedal out the feet a few times. Bend one knee and then the other, easing the back of the legs open. Moving gently with yourself, being gentle with yourself in your practice as always, but also in this practice of returning. Doesn't have to be a self-flagellation of every terrible thing you did this year. Again, own your stuff if you need to own your stuff, but be kind, be generous to yourself. We all misalign sometimes. All right, and now take a step in, one footprint, and try to get your heels down to the floor. So just a shorter dog, like you're halfway between down dog and forward bend. Press your heels down. So it's more of a calf stretch, hamstring stretch. And if you can, try to lift your toes up. They may or may not lift, but yeah, you'll feel something happen in your legs as you do that. All right, good. And then you can keep walking forward, or you can walk your hands back to your feet. Just land into your feet, into a forward bend. If it's hard to reach the floor, you can always put hands on blocks. Feel your feet grounded where you are. Feel your hands root into the earth. And then lengthen your spine and come on all the way up, reach up and stretch up. And exhale, draw your hands to your heart and just steady yourself. Release your hands. We're going to come to the front of the mat. We're going to do a couple of mandala flows. So we're going to sort of go in a circular motion one way and then the other way. We'll take it slowly, so hopefully it won't be too confusing. So start in mountain pose, in Tadasana. Make your arms, legs steady and strong. Lengthen your spine. Lift through your crown. Feel your feet on the earth and just ground yourself in all the things that are beautiful and meaningful and you want to bring with you into this next year. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, reach up. As you exhale, hinge forward from your hips, fold, hands to floor or to blocks if they don't reach. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen your spine, looking forward, flattening out your back. And then exhale and folding over, bend your knees. Take your right leg way back into a lunge. Long stance. If you're using blocks, that's fine. Just move them back in line with your front foot. So your hands, fingernails, and toenails are in a straight line across your mat. Now you could stay here if you feel more supported. You can stay here, or you can go arms up if you want a little deeper hip flexor stretch. And you want to work on a little balance challenge. You can go arms up to the sky here. Wherever you are, stretch your back leg long, sit into your front knee, take one more breath. That's it. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Go inside your front foot. So both hands over to the right. So bring the block over with you. You got it. Now spin down your back heel. So put your heel on the floor. So you're in like a warrior stance in your legs, and then walk your hands on a diagonal. So it's like you've got warrior 2 in your lower legs, in your lower body, and dog pose in your upper body. That's it. So hands are sort of on a little bit of a diagonal, and you're pulling your hips back. All right, take one more breath here. Then keep walking your arms in the direction you were going. So to your left, to your right. Parallel your feet. I'm not mirroring you. I confused myself. So now you're folded in a nice wide forward bend. Good. Make your legs nice and strong. Again, you can just keep taking your blocks with you if you need to. Hands on floor or blocks so that your spine and your back is supported. Okay, now walk to your right foot. Turn your right foot out a little bit, not as much as you would for warrior, just on a little bit of an angle. And then sit into your right knee for Skandasana, which is a transverse lunge. So similar to warrior dog, but a little bit different. Now you could stay here, or you can go hands to heart, or if you know another version that you like, go for it. I'm not going to teach any other versions, but you can do another version. It's sort of like a half squat. Okay, stay with me. Release your hands down if they're up. Now walk to the back of your mat. Frame your right foot with your hands. Left knee up behind you. Left heel up. So you're in a lunge facing the opposite direction. That's it. And then step to the back of your mat. Good. Step your feet together. Fold into Uttanasana, facing the back of your mat. Inhale, lengthen up, facing the back of your room, the opposite direction. Exhale, slide your hands into your heart. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, fold forward from your hips. We're going to do the same leg. So you're going to step your left leg back. Same sequence. Stay here or arms to the sky. We'll go a little faster on the second side. Wherever you are, be where you are. Back leg strongly supporting you. Front knee bending over your ankle. Exhale your hands down inside your foot. So to the inside of your right foot, and then spin your left heel down, warrior 2 legs. Good. Warrior dog. Walk your hands on a diagonal up to the upper corner. Opposite corner that your knee is facing, your right knee. Then walk between your feet, parallel your feet, Prasarita Padottanasana. We'll do the other leg, I promise. Good. Then walk back towards the front of your mat. Turn your foot out just a little bit. So on a diagonal, not all the way sort of at the top right corner of your mat. Then stay there, hands on the floor or hands to heart for transverse lunge, Skandasana. Elbow inside the knee, squeezing the leg and the arm together. Exhale, release your hands, pivot to face front, spin up your back heel. Back to where we started. Step forward to the front of your mat and fold. Come on all the way up, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, slide your hands to your heart. Okay, now we got to do the other leg, turning and returning. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale and hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend your knees, left leg back, lunge. Good, stay here or arms to the sky, up to you. One more breath wherever you are. Exhale, hands inside your front foot. So over to the left, spin down your back heel, left heel down. Good, warrior two legs. You got it. Right knee stays bending. You're walking your hands. The right knee is pressing wide to the right. Your hands are walking over to the left. Warrior dog. Yeah. Good, Amy? You okay? Yeah. Good. And then you're going to walk between your feet. Parallel your feet, fold to center. Yep, take your blocks with you. If you're going around, you need the blocks, just take them in the circle with you. Good, now we walk to the left foot, the left toes turn out a little bit, not all the way as for warrior. I know I'm giving you the back view, sorry, but that's okay. You get to see poses from each side. The elbow and the knee can sort of kiss each other. Right leg nice and strong, hands on the floor or off. And then exhale, release your hands to frame your left foot, turn and face the back of your mat. Good. Step your right foot to meet your left foot. Fold over. Inhale, come on all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, bend your knees, left leg back. Stay here, hands on the floor or arms to the sky. Exhale, hands over inside your right foot. Spin down your back heel. Yes, warrior legs. You got it. Warrior two in your lower body, dog in your upper body. Press your hips back behind you. Then walk between your feet, parallel your feet. Fold to center. Walk to your left foot, turn it out a little bit. Going back towards the front of your mat now. Hands on the floor or hands at the heart center in the transverse lunge. And then exhale, move back to the front of your mat, spin your back heel up, step forward and fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Good, release your hands, face the long side. We're gonna just hold in this wider pose for a moment, do a couple of things here. So feet parallel, legs wide apart. Feel your feet on the floor and press evenly through the inside edge of your foot and the outside edge of your foot, the base of your toes and the inner and outer heel. And then right from your hips, hinge forward. Heart out in front. Send your thigh bones back a little bit. So we're going back to this big wide forward bend. Hands to the floor when you can reach. Bend your elbows, fold in, turn in. Okay, now we're going to walk both hands to your right leg. You can hold your right leg with your right hand or with both hands. If you need a little more stability, keep your left hand on the floor. Now draw your torso over towards your right leg, but at the same time, push your left hip over to the left, your left inner thigh. So your hips stay pretty level, but you're getting a big side body stretch for the left side. Okay, now hold your right ankle with your left hand and then lean back into that hand until your whole torso is straight out of your pelvis and then twist open. Take your top arm to the sky. Yeah, you got it. So you're holding with your left hand, your right arm is to the sky and you're twisting and looking up to the right. Keep pushing your left hip to the left. Yeah, you got it, guys. That's it. Okay, exhale, both hands down. Walk to center.
Walk to the left leg. Again, if you need a little more stability, keep the right hand on the floor or hold your left ankle with both hands. Pull with your arms, draw your torso over to your left leg, push your right inner thigh over to the right at the same time. So you're not letting that right thigh and the right hip dip below the left. Okay, now shift your weight. Hold your left leg with your right hand. Lean back, extend your right arm fully, lean back, and then twist. Look up over your left shoulder. Turn your belly deeply. The word in Sanskrit for twisting is parivrita, and it means to turn your heart, to something more beautiful. Turn your heart. Good. Exhale and release your hands back to center. Heel toe your feet in a footprint, bend your knees, look forward. Lengthen your spine and come on up. You can always walk your hands up your legs if you need to. Reach your arms to the sky. Good. Exhale and let your arms release and step your feet together. Come back to the front, face the front edge of your mat. Stand with feet hip distance apart, as parallel as you can make your feet. And then we're going to step back with the right foot into warrior one. You may want your blocks in front of you. We're going to go into warrior three. And so if you feel like you might need support for that, put your blocks in front of you. Here's what I want you to think about when we're stepping into warrior one. Don't swing your leg behind you. Keep that hip distance apart as you step back. Okay, so step back with your right foot and maintain that hip distance between your right and left heel. Yeah, so there's just some space there. Good. Make your right leg nice and straight and then pivot your right hip to face forward. Wrap it around, not in a way that you're feeling torquing in your knee. If you need to turn your toes in more, that'll take pressure out of the knee if you're feeling that. Okay, then left knee bends over your ankle. Take your left arm to the sky. That's it. Left hip pulls back. Now reach your right arm out in front of you. And notice how your right ribs and your right shoulder are on a diagonal from the left. So reach forward a little more with your right hand. Let your belly turn, not so much that you're twisted and turning to the left leg, but just so that you're straight ahead. And then try to keep that and just take both arms up. Nice, you guys. As you inhale, lengthen up out of your pelvis, stretch to your fingers. As you exhale, let your pelvis settle, your front knee bend a little deeper. Then slide your hands to your hips. Squeeze your elbows towards each other behind you. Spin up your back heel and step in a footprint. Bring your weight fully into your left foot. Lean out into warrior three. Float up your right leg. So here's where you could also use blocks and put hands on blocks if balancing it feels too wobbly. Stretch your legs long, stretch your torso long. Stay here, or for the last breath, stretch your arms out in front of you. If that's too much, you can just keep the hands on the hips or go arms to the sides. Okay, good. Hands back to hips. Step back to the back of the mat, not as far as you were for warrior. So step in a little bit, both legs straight now. Again, still a little bit of space between the heels. Torso still facing front. That's it. Lengthen your spine. Hinge forward, Parsvottanasana. Keep your elbows lifting. Keep your shoulders lifting. Yeah, nice, Marnie, Amy, that's it. And everybody in the room too. Spine nice and long. Good. And then when you hit resistance, on the next exhale, let your hands release to the floor, or of course you can use blocks. Let your head release towards your knee. Close your eyes and turn in. Turn to the best parts of yourself. Make space for your misalignments, for the ways that you've done wrong this year, and yet just keep turning towards the best part of yourself. That's always there, always within you. Inhale, look forward, bend your front knee and step forward. Rise all the way up, reach up. Exhale, release your arms. Good, let's do that whole sequence to the other side. Left foot back, again, maintain a little space. Hip distance between the heels. Pivot your hips to face forward. Bend your right knee into a square. Inhale your right arm to the sky. Bring your left arm in front of you. Good, and then reach forward like you're trying to reach for something that's in front of you. Feel your belly turn a little bit more to the right. So the right hip wraps around, the right shoulder comes forward, and then keep that, just take the arms to the sky. Shoulders right over the hips. Yes, beautiful. Keep the front knee bending. Maybe take it into a little bit of a back bend if you want to take it into a little bit of a deeper front body stretch. Slide your hands to your hips. Spin up your back heel, step in. Balance your weight on your right foot. Lean out. That's it. Float up the back leg. Straighten both legs as best you can. Here you can use the blocks too. You can go hands onto blocks if balancing feels too wobbly. Last breath, if you want to take the arms out in front, go for a breath or any other arm position that works. And then bend your standing leg, land your back foot, straighten both legs. Hands on your hips. Right hip pulls back, left hip wraps around. Hinge. Elbows lift. Shoulders lift. Neck nice and long. Stay as long as you can in your spine, for as long as you can. So keep that sense of extension out of your low back. When you hit resistance, just pause, take a breath, and as you exhale, then release and let your spine round. And close your eyes and turn to your heart. Settle into what's already there and who you already are, all the tools you have within yourself to be exactly who you want to be and how you want to be in this coming year. Look forward, bend your front knee, step forward. Uttanasana. Lengthen your spine, come on up, reach up and stretch up. Good, exhale, release your arms. Okay, for this one, let's use blocks for this next one. It's just infinitely easier with blocks. We're going to do revolve triangle, Parivrtta Trikonasana. If you're comfortable doing it without blocks, of course, don't use the blocks. It is just an easier pose to do with blocks, especially if you have short limbs and a long torso. That makes this one a little bit harder. Okay, so we're going to start in this shorter stance, Parsvottanasana. We were here already. This stance, both legs straight, left foot forward, right foot back. Good. Pivot your hips forward. So Sarah, other way, turn forward. So step your foot a little more to the side and in and turn your toes in a little so you can get your hip forward. That's good. That's good. Hips facing forward. Okay, same thing. We're going to hinge forward. Now you've got your two blocks, so you have options here. Your right hand is either going to land right on the block, right underneath it, or it's going to cross outside your left foot. And of course, if you're going to the floor, you can go to the floor. Okay, now use your hand on your left hip to draw your left hip back. And at the same time, extend your spine forward. And then as if your spine is the axis of the wheel, twist around the spine, turn and look up over your left shoulder. You can stay here, or you can take your left arm to the sky. So you're in a revolved triangle pose. That's it. Breathe right where you are. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, turn your belly without letting your right hip dip down. Keep that right hip lifted. One more breath. Good. Exhale, release your hands. You can go to the blocks or to the floor. Step forward and come on all the way up. Reach up. Very good. Release your arms and then over to the second side. Left foot back. Okay. Start with hips forward, hands on hips. Spine nice and long. Ground through your feet. Strengthen your legs. Hinge at your hips. Start with a long spine, and we stay with a long spine in this pose. We don't really go to the rounded position because it's a twist. So we've got to keep the spine long. Okay, now left hand can drop to the block over on the left side, or it can cross over the right foot. Wherever you are, pull your right hip back, extend your spine forward, and then rotate around your spine. Twist to the right, lift your right elbow, your right shoulder, maybe take your right hand to the sky, but you don't have to. It's a bouncy, wobbly pose, right? Keep your legs squeezing together. Nice, you guys. One more breath. Exhale, bring your hand down and step forward to the front of your mat. Fold. Bend your knees, rest your belly on your thighs. Come to a standing rest here. Good, and then step your right foot back to the back of your mat. Drop your right knee down. So if you want to grab a blanket to put your knee on or fold your mat over so you have padding, you can do that. All right, squeeze your legs in towards each other. Inhale, come upright. Good. Lift up out of your pelvis. So lift your ribs up off your pelvis a little bit. Pull your shoulders back. And then try to keep all that. Tone your belly and maybe sit into that front knee a little bit deeper. We're going to come into an upright twist. So you're going to take your right hand to your left knee and your left hand to the top of your right thigh behind you. Good. As you inhale, get tall through your spine. As you exhale, rotate around your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn. Turn and return to your own heart. Inhale to face front. You can look front first. Hands to blocks. Lift up your back knee. Step forward. Switch your feet. Left leg back. Left knee down. Squeeze your legs together. Arms to the sky. Lift up out of the pelvis. Lift your ribs. Draw your shoulders and ears back. Tone your belly. Maybe sit deeper into the front knee. If that feels like too much pulling or it bothers the knee, just stay a little more up. Then twist towards your right knee. Left hand, right knee. Right hand behind you. So you're holding opposite leg and opposite hand. Inhale, get tall through your spine. Exhale, use your arms to help revolve around the spine. Inhale, get tall. Exhale and twist. And one more breath and twist. Good. Inhale, face front. Release your hands. Okay, we're going to lift the back knee, step forward again. Bend your knees, come to just standing rest for a moment. You can let your elbows hang or hold opposite elbows. We're going to go into a little bit of a deeper twist now. Same pose, but deeper twist. Release your hands to floor or blocks. Step your right foot back, drop your right knee down again. Good. Squeeze your legs for balance. Inhale, come upright. Do all the things we did on the first time. And then slide your hands to your heart in a prayer Anjali mudra. And then you're going to twist towards your left knee and try to hook your right elbow across the left knee. That's it. Then notice how the weight wants to sort of collapse down into your leg. Push your arm down into your leg so your chest lifts up a little bit. Your spine can feel a little bit longer. And then bring your left elbow over your right elbow. Push your hands together and try to rotate your breastbone more in front of your thumbs. Yeah, it's a wobbly one too. I know, lots of wobbly poses today. That's okay. Okay, inhale, release your twist. Hands down. And switch. You can step back or step forward, whichever is easier for you. Left knee down. Good. Inhale, come up. Slide your hands into your heart. Get really long, tall in your spine. Turn to your right leg. Hook your left elbow across. Stack. Make a straight line from your bottom elbow to your top elbow. Push your elbow down into your leg. Turn your belly like you're trying to rotate your breastbone in front of your thumbs. Good. You can take your gaze upwards if your neck is comfortable. If you feel wobbly, you can look down. That helps with the balance. Take one more breath. As you exhale, just ring out, let go. And then inhale, just return to center, return to your heart. Drop your hands down, slide back into tabletop. And then lift up into downward facing dog. We didn't do a lot of dog today, so got to get our dogs in. Stretch into your dog pose. And then drop the knees back down. And we're going to come to sit. You may want to have a block nearby for the seated poses. You also might want, I'm sorry, not a block, a strap, a strap nearby to hold your foot if it's hard to reach your foot. You also might want to sit up on a blanket. If the back of your legs feel very tight or your low back feels very tight, you can sit up on a blanket and that will help mitigate that situation. Okay, then reach underneath, take the flesh out from underneath your sitting bone, roll your inner thigh down towards the floor. So you feel really grounded into your sit bones. You really feel your sit bones pressing into the earth beneath you. Keep your left leg straight and bend in your right knee for Janu Shirshasana. The knee can go out to the side. And you can either have your foot, see what feels better on your knee and on your hip. You can have your foot flexed. There's sort of many different versions of this pose, but you can have your foot flat like this, or if the knee will go down, you can be more on the top of your foot, more like a lotus kind of foot. Okay, now here's where you may want to use your strap. If you can reach your foot, you don't need a strap. If it's hard to reach the foot, just lasso your foot with your strap. And then pull. If you're just reaching for the foot, you can hold the foot. Whatever you're holding, foot or strap, pull back. Turn to the side. Pull with your hands on the strap or on your foot so that your chest comes forward a little bit. Your collarbones broaden out a little bit. That's it. And then hinge forward at your hip. So bring your belly more towards your thigh. That's more of a hamstring stretch, as you are likely feeling right now. Belly towards your thigh, spine still long. And then just like we did in the standing forward bend, when you hit resistance, take a breath. And as you exhale, then fold, let your elbows bend, let your head release, your neck release, and let your back round over your leg. That's it. You're still holding your foot. You're still keeping your left leg a little bit energized. Pushing your foot into your hands, pulling really gently with your hands, but just so that there's some muscular integrity in the upper back. And there's some muscle. It's not just the spine taking the brunt of the weight of gravity, but also the muscles in the back. All right, good. Lengthen, look forward, and walk yourself back up. Keep your legs as they are. Let's just do one easy twist here. Take your right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Extend your right leg a little longer. Extend your spine a little taller as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, rotate around the spine, twist to the left. One more breath. Good. Inhale and face front. Stretch your leg out. Stretch both legs out and just pause and feel. Slide your left foot in. Again, you can go sole of the foot to the thigh like we do in tree, or you can take it a little wider on the top of the foot like we do in a lotus. Yep. And if you need another adjustment of sitting bones, do that. Inner thigh down, flesh from underneath. Hold your foot or hold the strap around your foot. Good. Pull with your arms a little bit, chest forward. And then hinge at your belly, belly towards your thigh, belly towards your thigh, belly towards your thigh. When you hit resistance, deep breath in. And as you exhale, round. Elbows to the sides. Now the stretch moves into the spinal muscles, the muscles along the back of your torso, your trunk. But keep the legs gently toning and supporting you. Keep a little gentle pull with your hands. On your next inhale, walk yourself back up. Good. Stretch both legs out in front of you. Paschimottanasana. Same thing, just both legs now. Reach for your feet or take the strap around your feet. Pull with your hands, hinge forward, fold over your legs. If it feels like it's not deep enough, you can always put a block at the soles of your feet and hold the block, giving you a little bit more extension for your spine and for your arms. Keep it where it's reasonable. Turn in, close your eyes. Make space for the ways that you've misaligned this year, the ways that others have misaligned this year. And just keep turning to your heart, returning to your heart, to love, to compassion for yourself, for others. Inhale, come on upright. Okay, we're going to come down onto the back. I'm just going to show you this last pose we're going to do. So I'm going to give a couple of options. So one option is we can do the upside down version of what we just did, which is not shoulder stand. It's different. You're on the middle of your back. You're holding your feet. So obviously the hamstrings have to sort of be cooperative with this one. And you're pulling yourself into the same pose we were just in, just upside down. So I'm really on like the middle of my upper back. My thighs are parallel to the floor. There's no weight on my neck or my head at all. Now, this is not necessarily feasible for everybody. So if this is a better position, just a happy baby, come on into a happy baby. Come onto your back and do something. So if you're doing happy baby, you're holding your feet and drawing your knees down towards your armpits. If you're doing Supta Paschimottanasana, you're holding your feet and you're rocking back onto the middle of your back. Yeah, it's in Marnie like that. And then if the legs are straight, you're not bringing the weight into the neck, but you can pull your thighs closer to your belly. You can pull your feet closer to the floor overhead. If you're in happy baby, you're pulling your knees towards your armpits. All right, good. And then slide your knees together, bend them, bring them into the chest. Do some circling. You could circle knees together or circle them away from each other. Just get some movement through the hips and the pelvis. And then let's find our way into Shavasana. So begin to extend your legs out long. Extend your arms by your sides. Let your pinky toes drop to the floor. Yeah, take whatever support you need, blankets or under the head or under the knees or under any body part. Let your body deeply release. As if all the hurts that you were holding on to from this past year were just melting away. All the ways that you are disappointed in yourself just melt away. All the parts of yourself, the pieces that don't line up, let them melt away, stay in this year, not taking them into the next. As you let your body soften and release deeply, return to your heart, return to God in any form that you understand God to be within you, around you. Turn to that which upholds you and the entire world. Just let yourself surrender into that knowing.
Gently now, let your breath deepen. Allow your body to stretch and move, to reawaken gently. Slowly bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor. Find your way onto your side. And slowly back to seated. So I have some final Elul, month of Elul journal prompts or just thinking prompts for you. I will send them in an email to you, but I'll give you a couple right now to take with you into the rest of your day. Questions to ask yourself. What do I want to return to this year? What habits have I fallen into that don't align with that intention? Is there someone in my life who needs my forgiveness, including myself? What does my heart want to tell me about this coming year? Bring your hands onto your heart. May this coming year return us to our hearts, return us to our highest, return us to God and to goodness and to compassion and to love, to all the ways that we can support ourselves and support others. Let's close together with a blessing for peace, for wholeness. Let's chant Shalom. If you'd like to join, take a deep breath in. Shalom. Namaste. Thank you all. I hope you have a great day and a beautiful Rosh Hashanah New Year. I'll send out the questions. I'll post the video, all the things. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Ah.